Hi, I'm Robin Lawton. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator from sunny Queensland, Australia, although we are currently travelling on this time on a 7-month loop around Australia. So a big hello and good morning or good evening or whatever time it might be from wherever you're watching. Welcome to another Stamp Story tutorial. Today it's my first time using the new soft pastels from Stampin' Up, so I'm going to hopefully share a few ways to use them while I create a card for a colour challenge using a brand new stamp set and dies. So join me for what could be a bit of fun while we experiment and see what we come up with. Thanks for joining me. I've set myself a bit of a challenge this morning. I decided I would take part in Just to Add Ink's colour challenge, which is a challenge using grey granite, Blackberry Bliss and Coastal Cabana. But it's an extra challenge for me because I do not actually have any Coastal Cabana and Blackberry Bliss ink with me. I've only got grey granite. So after a little bit of thinking, I thought, what can I do? I will, and I realised I had just received my soft pastels, which are a brand new thing in this new annual catalogue. And years ago, back in 2006 when I first joined Stampin' Up, we had pastels, but they were in little square little kind of like paint little pack kind of things, but they were just a little square one, whereas these are now actually in a block, which makes it actually a little bit easier to access the colour. You're not limited to that little, to what you can fit on that little square spot. So I have with me my new paint palettes, watercolour palettes, but I thought this would be a really good thing to actually use with this because we can get a little bit messy and it's not going to matter. And it's also really good. I've chosen white for my palettes because that way it's really easy to see where the colour is, as opposed to when you were using a clear, whether you're using clear blocks or a lot of people use clear box or just some a clear plastic lid of some sort, and it's a little bit hard to see where the colour is sometimes, whereas with the opaque white it's really easy. So I'm just going to set that aside for a moment and talk to you about this colour and contour set which I'm going to use today. So I really actually love this set. I was playing with it yesterday and realised it is just such a, like, so many you can use it in so many different ways. So this is the stamp set called Colour and Contour, and it's a really good stamp set if you are looking for a stamp set. If you're familiar with my classes or know me, you will know that I always, anything that's got this little speckle kind of background or something that's actually just going to help to add a little bit of texture is really awesome. And it's got some images here that are more outline kind of, which would be great for backgrounds. And then it's got some more focal point images as well. And I'll show you how to use those. But it's also, the fonts are really beautiful in this. I love this. You're absolutely amazing. Here for you now and in better days ahead. Thank you for everything, and so very happy for you. So that's great. Now the scallop contour dies that come in the bundle, if you can buy them that way, or you can buy them individually. But this has got the dies that cut out this shape and this shape, and then it also has this great scalloped edge, which is really useful. And then it also has a selection of frames with different patterns around. So a really good, I think anything like that is really usable. So just a little card that I made with this yesterday, a different way to use the scalloped edge. Actually, funny story, I actually made this for a colour challenge that was on yesterday, and I thought it was 4 p.m. and it was 4 a.m. that the deadline was, so I missed it. But anyway, it's good to be challenged, especially with this one. It took me out of my colour zone, took me out of my comfort zone. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a bit tongue-tied this morning. I think I might be a little tired still. It's been really warm here where we are, so I didn't have the best night's sleep. It was a bit broken up, being pretty hot without having any air conditioning where we are at the moment. So we're up in the Dampier Peninsula, really, and it's still quite warm here for winter. It's at current 28 degrees, and it was only 26 overnight, so it was a little warm. But it's a beautiful spot, and I'm going to pop some photos up in my blog very soon of this awesome this location and where we've been so far on our trip. Anyway, back to this card. So I've used the scallop just to highlight this cutaway area, which I stamped with the stamp here, and then I did my flowers and worked out a way that I could get the dies and the stamps to match up without having to try and find which petal matches up where. So this is, if you know me, you know I am not a purple gal, but I was inspired to do this because I'd come across some wildflowers when we were in Manning Gorge, and they were just like this. So the colour wise, and I'll pop a picture up as well, and I'll pop the link to that in the notes below this video, so hopefully you'll pop over and say hi there. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this aside. I think I should just show you the inside of this card too quickly while I'm at it. There we go. Okay, so let's get back to this. So as I said, I didn't have any Coastal Cabana or Blackberry Bliss ink, but I did have I did have a little bit of cardstock here, which I've cut out a border. I've also cut out another scallop border in the Blackberry Bliss, and I have done some pieces already. But let's just have a bit of a play with this with these pastels. And to be 100% honest, I haven't actually played with these at all. Only to do shaving it off just to see how that would work. So I'm just going to do that. So this is so I can't remember who did. I think it might have been. Okay, just had to back with you again. Just had to plug my computer back in. It actually died. It wasn't charged overnight and properly, which I thought it had. Now, I could have done this one of two ways. I could have embossed it in clear, and that way, and which might have worked a bit better, but this will still be nice as well. But if I would have embossed it in clear, I would have had a white image, the sentiment would have been actually left white to take the background colour, and just wouldn't have picked up this colour. Whereas I've embossed it in white, and it's actually the pastel powder is actually clinging to that. And if I kept working that, it would become quite deep just on where those words are. I've done one here, which I did have a quick little practice, and you can see with that one, and that's the one I want to use on this card because it's going to be a thank you card. So let's set that aside. The other thing I wanted to try was I've stamped, I think I'll stamp my stamp this with some memento as well, this other flower image in this set. I'll move that out the way for a moment. Well, got to keep reminding myself to put the lids back on stamp pads so I don't end up ruining my work. So, okay, so with this one, we're going to go back in. We'll grab ourselves a little bit more powder. So, with this one, I thought I might take an aqua painter, and let's see if we can use this a little bit like, and we'll add some water to that. And let's just see. Oh, look at that. How beautiful is that to work with? I'm just going to come down here a little bit more so you can see. I'll lower my camera down. How lovely is that to watercolour with? Look at that. It's just like I had ink. Love it. That is gorgeous. There you go. I wasn't sure if they worked that way, so it was a bit of an experiment. And I'm just going to keep that quite, just dabbing that colour on. That's gorgeous. I love it. And if I wanted to probably get that a little bit more intense, yeah, just like with when you're using any other kind of watercolouring medium, if you don't water it down as much, the colour becomes a bit more intense. So we're just kind of pouncing that away, but just to give that really nice loose watercolour effect. Leaving some of that area white. That's really pretty. So hopefully you can see that up close there. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside. I might actually just quickly die cut that out and die cut the other ones. Oh, the other thing I might do whilst I've got my water out here is I've got some, oh, this will be fun. I've got some white ribbon. So let's see. Let's take a length of this. So this is the white linen ribbon. And let's take a wide, here. And let's see if we can colour that and how that will look. We could have lots of fun here. So that's an easy way. So I was thinking, what am I going to do for a bit of ribbon? I don't have anything that would match. So I want that a little bit darker, so I think I'll just go in and scrape a little bit more colour. And I guess it's probably a good idea to shave down the whole length rather than just keep working in one area. So, okay. We don't want to water that down too much so we can get a nice intensity of colour. You might have to do a part 2 to this video to wait for that to dry and then come back. Oh, that's nice and bright. And I guess you could always keep that like as a kind of ombre look if you get it quite dark in one spot, and then just fading that to lighter. A little mush around there. Love it. I think that's going to work out really, really lovely. I think that's quite a good way to get a really even colour on your ribbon. So let's just take that right to the end there. And okay, so I'm going to set that aside to dry, and I'll be back with you. Okay, so back with you. I'm just going to show you cutting out these dies. So before I'd said, that because I've stamped these facing the top, okay, I know exactly that when I come in and pop my die at that top spot there, it won't take me very long to work out exactly where to line that up. So that's just a really good little hint to do that. I'm just going to pop that on here and oops, bump that out the way a little bit. Sandwich that together and just roll that through. Oops. Right. Sorry about any shaking. This video. So then that cuts that out quite perfectly. So we'll quickly do the other one, and let's just take this. Whoops. We'll get our second flower there. Okay. Aside. Now I've already cut out this little guy here with a die as well, and I'm going to pop that big shot out of the way and get back to our card. So, okay, so bring in my elements here that I'm going to have for my card. I've got my card base. Now I want to keep this really nice and clean and simple, and I've used this other card here. I really quite like this design, so I'm going to try and pull something together to loosely resemble this one. The other thing I can use, I do have some grey granite Baker's twine as well from our Baker's Twine Essentials pack, so I might use that. And I'm going to grab our ribbon, and I think it is pretty much dry. Oh, I love it. It looks great. It's not... Yep, that's dry. Okay, so bring my elements. I might just... Now, I could do a couple of different things here with my... Might just bring in my grey granite ink, and that one, I think I'll use this big flower again and maybe just stamp. I'm just going to pop this down just to protect my this is our battleship instructions from our game last night. Actually, we got really bored and I went into a op shop and found a brand new game of Battleship for $3. How good is that? So we had a game of that, or a few games of it last night. So, okay, so this is, as I said, really nice little outline stamp, this one. So that was the same one that I used to do this and colour it. And if you didn't want to colour that, there is also in your stamp set, there's also this image here that that you can just ink that up and stamp that over the outline. So, okay, so let's pop that side. I think we can maybe get rid of that. It's away now. So let's bring in our elements and see how we, doesn't that look so pretty over that? Okay, but we've got to remember that this colour challenge was grey granite, Calypso, not Calypso, Coastal Cabana, and our Blackberry Bliss. Now I didn't have any Blackberry Bliss ink as either, so I'm just going to use a little bit here. I'm going to pop like so, like so. Maybe we could use this one here, and we could do something a little like that. We could pop a little bit of our, whoops, we have got our ribbon too, so let's see what we could do with that. Now normally if I had another piece of white, I would just tie that around there. Perhaps that won't work, so let's just see if we can do something like this. You know what, I think I'm just going to grab another piece of white because I'd really like to use that and tie that in together. So I'm just going to grab another piece of white there. Okay, so what I think I'll do, just to add a little bit more Blackberry Bliss into this, is actually take this little border piece that I had cut, and I'm just going to freehand. I should cut this with a trimmer, but no, that's perfect. I'm just going to use my double-sided tape. Run that along here. Make sure I get the stitching just the right way. There we go. And so then I will now tie this around here. I don't think I want a bow. I think I just want it to be nice and clean. So I'm just going to wrap that around like so. Take our double-sided tape again. This is the easiest way I find to attach a strip of ribbon like that, is to actually use your double-sided tape, and just, you can get it, seem to get it really nice and straight then, rather than trying to put the tape on the ribbon. So I find this much easier. So I'm just going to just secure that to the back and wrap that around. Like so. Okay, so let's see if we can just pop that up like so. Okay, I might mount that up on dimensionals. Yes, I think I will. Okay, when it comes to two-dimensional or not two-dimensional, I think we always know, we always buy dimensionals, don't we? Mostly, not always, but mostly I'm just going to use up the outside piece here. It's good to use up those little outside pieces. Now we want to make sure when we do this that we have a decent amount of dimensionals in the middle as well, because otherwise you'll have like a trampoline. It'll be all saggy in the middle, so we don't want that. So let's just, okay, so we've got that like so. I think I am going to use this little line maybe for, I don't know, what do you think? Maybe I won't use that one. I actually just like that. I think that looks really sweet. And we could use a little bit of our baker's twine then to tie around our little posy. Create that kind of a look. So let's see how that goes. There's just so many things you could do, couldn't you? Yeah. And I think you've just got to just do something rather than opposed to doing nothing when it comes to designing or creating cards. And there's never a wrong way. It's just I think I like that, and I'm just going to leave it like that. I will pop some dimensionals under that. I think I'll come back and use these elements here that I use, and I might create another card with that one. So so yeah, that's my card. I'll just quickly just mount these up. So if you have this new Stampin' Seal, it's awesome, but you just have to remember just to roll that on just a little bit, roll it forward just a little bit just to get it started. So do you think we need our other little bit over here? No, I actually like it more clean and simple. So this is very different, this card. It's so funny. This is very different than what I actually envisaged that I would start with. But hey, that's cool. I'm just glad I've finally got myself sorted so that I can actually chat to you all and whilst I'm traveling. And boy, it's been a huge learning curve with this technology, getting it sorted, but I think it's not perfect, but you've just got to do it. So I'm going to use a very fine little sliver of this just to pop down this stem. And but yeah, for me it's really hard because I am a perfectionist. Not saying that things are always perfect, but I find it so hard to actually do anything because I'm always worrying, is it going to be good enough? And I think if I've learned that if I continue to do that, I won't do anything. So something is better than nothing. And I just have to be happy with what it is. And hopefully you won't all think it's too bad either. Okay, so I'm happy with that, and I I'd love to hear from you if you'd like to pop in and say hi. Put the comments below. If you've liked this video and you'd like to see more, please just hit the little bell symbol so you'll receive notifications of when I do new videos. And if you would like to get my blog posts into your inbox, I have a form there on my new website, which is stampstory.com.au. And yeah, and you can comment there as well. So thank you so much. It really, really means a lot to me. If you'd like to order anything, this beautiful color and contours bundle, I'm sure that you will love it just as much as I am loving it. It really, really is very, very, very usable. That's the word, very usable. And if you'd like to shop with me, I'll pop the link um, in the notes below the video, and you can pop over and onto my blog and see everything that I've used to create this card. And yeah, if you'd love to order, I'd really, really love to be your demonstrator and have your order. Thank you so much, and have a great day wherever you are watching from. Thank you. Bye.